is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tonight, a pedestrian is recovering after being struck by a vehicle in the downtown core. Police saying it happened at the intersection of Chatham Street East and Goyo around noon. The person hit sustained only minor injuries, with the driver charged for making an unsafe turn. No further information on the circumstances around the incident are known. In Leamington tonight, council is backtracking on a bid for the provincial gymnastics championships following concerns it will impact the Leamington Flyers next season.
I agree. We took a lot of heat for this, and I'm going to put a little bit back on the Flyers. They've not been a cooperative organization to work with in the last number of years since they've changed ownership.
Earlier this month, council supported Rose City Gymnastics' bid to host the 2027 championships at the Nature Fresh Farms Recreation Center. However, the move faced scrutiny from the Flyers and their fan base. Playing host would require officials to thaw the ice at the Flyers' main rink, leaving them without a home during the potential playoff run next season. Tonight, council voting unanimously not to support Rose City Gymnastics. The gym's president, Diana Georgie, says the bid is due in 8 days.
The sad part is, once they kind of granted us the process to move forward, we took everybody else off the table. We let everybody else know, so we were no longer going to their meetings or going to council to do a presentation. So I doubt if we can put a bid in this year, which basically costs Rose City Gymnastics anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 in revenue.
In Sarnia, a city councillor has been told to apologize for comments he made over an Indigenous art piece at City Hall. But as CTV's Brian Bicknell reports, he says he has no intention of doing so.
Never in a million years. Never in a million years. The Leafs have a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup this year than me apologizing.
Sarnia councillor Bill Dennis did not attend, but wasted no time responding to a special council meeting to address comments he made that upset Indigenous communities. A motion called on Dennis to apologize to Indigenous artist Kennedy Osborne, who painted a welcome mural at City Hall, along with the chiefs of Aamjiwnaang and Kettle and Stony Point First Nations and their communities.
And to make those letters available for public viewing.
That's unanimous. Thank you.
While it passed unanimously, one councillor expressed doubts.
I don't believe that Councillor Dennis believes he's done anything wrong, so an apology from himself is going to actually be real.
The ordeal began last week when Dennis lashed out on Facebook about taxpayer money spent on the mural, saying it's nothing more than virtue signaling by woke politicians.
That, quite frankly, is insulting and ignorant to art in general.
The post set off a series of exchanges, with Dennis being accused of vulgar and racist commentary, and Indigenous leaders calling on City Council to deal with Dennis under its code of conduct.
And when we make comments or put in print, put that in your pipes and smoke it, you cannot deny that that was an attack or a slur on our neighbors. And I'm ashamed that we are broadcasting out to the world that Sarnia is a racist city.
Christy McRoberts is in a lot of trouble for the things that she said about me. Putting that in your pipe and smoking it is not a racial slur. It's a common phrase. All you have to do is Google it and find out what it means. As a matter of fact, I got that from watching The Simpsons.
Council is also seeking advice on potential human rights violations. It wants regular updates from a council committee whose goal is to foster relations with First Nations, and it wants a formal thank you for Indigenous artist Kennedy Osborne. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Chatham-Kent police dealing with a pair of incidents on Sunday. First, a violent robbery at a business on Grand Avenue West where an employee was pushed to the ground trying to stop a theft. Police say a suspect was spotted nearby, took off, and was eventually arrested after a foot chase with a stun gun used when he became aggressive. Then, later that night, a fire inside a car wash bay on Grand Avenue East, with police using surveillance video to identify a suspect who's now facing an arson charge. And there were a lot of Chatham-Kent police units in Merlin this morning, with investigators taking 4 people into custody following an alleged home invasion involving a firearm. Police say the situation is now contained and there's no ongoing risk to the public, but the investigation is still active. Police in Windsor have arrested a 24-year-old man connected to a Via Italia shooting for a second alleged breach of bail. He was first charged in 2024 after police say he fired at a vehicle on Erie Street. Officers say a compliance check on March 23rd found he was violating his release conditions. He and his 29-year-old surety now face new charges. A Windsor jury trial is nearing conclusion, with the defendant admitting to shooting the victim but pleading not guilty to second-degree murder. CTV's Michelle Molesky has the latest.
24-year-old Daniel Squalls was shot to death on November 28, 2022, out front of his home on Hannah Street. Malik Kalu, now 30 years old, has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, hoping instead to be convicted of manslaughter. The Windsor jury learned today Squalls was shot at least 6 times, with bullets recovered from his head, torso, and pelvis. But the coroner also couldn't say precisely how many bullets entered and exited his body. The jury has previously learned Kalu fired his weapon 15 times. The gun still hasn't been recovered. On Tuesday, a friend of Squalls and an acquaintance of Kalu's testified about 2 physical fights between the 2 men about 5 years before the shooting. Demetrius Ka testified both fights were over the same woman who was in a relationship with Squalls after breaking up with Kalu. Ka denied on cross-examination by the defense that one of the fights was over an insult Squalls made about Kalu's daughter. Ka also couldn't explain why he waited until this past January to tell police about the fights. Midday Tuesday, Justice Maria Caracia told the jury the Crown is close to concluding their evidence, and they will likely hear from the defense on Wednesday. At Windsor Superior Court, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
The number of return trips to the U.S. by Canadians was down more than 20% in January, a year into the second term of U.S. President Donald Trump. According to Stats Canada, Canadian residents returned from 2.1 million trips to the U.S. in January, representing a 22% drop from the same month in 2025. By contrast, the number of Canadian residents returning from trips overseas increased more than 10% during the first month of this year. StatsCan says the shift in travel trends among Canadians started in early 2025 when Trump returned to the White House. And some relief at the pumps could be on the way. One industry analyst says gas prices could drop by about 13 cents tomorrow after oil prices took a sharp dip earlier this week. That drop followed comments from U.S. President Donald Trump suggesting possible talks with Iran, which briefly eased tensions in the market, but with mixed signals since prices are still moving and could change quickly. Windsor police have made an arrest in that hit and run that smashed a bus shelter downtown. It happened back on March 1st at University and Bruce when a white sedan crashed into the shelter, shattering the glass. You see it there. Police say the driver and a passenger then switched seats and took off without reporting it. Days later, the driver turning herself in. A 22-year-old woman is now charged with careless driving. Had any good potholes lately? Well, CAA is kicking off their Worst Roads campaign for South Central Ontario, with Windsor drivers given the chance to speak up on our streets. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
We got some pretty mean roads here. Drivers across Ontario are once again being asked to nominate the province's worst roads as the annual campaign from CAA returns.
Well, the CAA Worst Roads campaign is one of the largest campaigns we do here. It serves as an opportunity for Ontarians, for road users to voice their concerns over the state of their roads.
According to CAA, most drivers are frustrated with road conditions, and many say not enough is being done to fix them.
70% agree that not enough's being done.
And those rough roads can come at a cost. At McDonald's Automotive Supercenter, repairs linked to pothole damage can quickly add up.
It could be as simple as an alignment, which is around $160, or it could be some wheels, tires, some suspension components could easily escalate to $1,000 to $3,000 or $4,000.
Some drivers say certain roads have been a problem for years.
What they do is just patching, even with full of water, and they don't resolve anything.
Others point to potholes and uneven pavement across the city an issue especially noticeable for motorcyclists.
Riverside Drive, and I ride it a lot from, sort of right all the way across. It's a beautiful road to ride all the way out to Bell River, but that's a terrible road.
Either between Tecumseh Road and Wyandotte, man, they really need to work on these potholes.
CAA says the campaign has led to improvements in some communities as municipalities prioritize repairs, noting frequent flyers on the worst roads lists like Riverside Drive and Banwell avoided being named last year.
It's actually a better investment to fix the road in a timely manner than wait for the road to deteriorate over time and then having to pay millions of dollars for a full-scale reconstruction project.
CAA says drivers can submit their nominations online over the next several weeks. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
A plan to flip some one-way streets to two-way may be hitting a roadblock at City Hall. City staff are now recommending council pump the brakes after hearing from the public. A new report shows 68% of respondents are against the idea, and not one of the 11 streets in downtown Windsor studied had majority support. Concerns range from losing parking to safety to the cost of undoing recent road work.
So this is why we take our time. This is why we ask council questions. This is why we get reports done. This is why we ask for public feedback, because we want to do it right the first time and not have to circle back and change something and do it all over again.
As we inch closer to warmer weather, pressure is building to fast-track changes at Sandpoint Beach. As CTV's Bob Belichico reports, residents are pushing for safety upgrades sooner rather than later.
I hope this isn't going to be here for like 6 years.
Residents want safety at Sandpoint Beach, as shown by a petition circulating on social media.
I'm happy to see that people want to see the change happen in our beautiful waterfront.
But many don't want it to take years to accomplish.
Let's do it like now rather than later, so kids can still enjoy the park over there and they can still enjoy like the scenery, fishing. There's so much to be had here, and I think the space is still usable. So I just hope it doesn't take 12 years.
I'd like to have it down soon as possible.
Ward 7 City Councillor Angela Marignani says a report by the Life Saving Society of Canada is expected back soon, which she hopes can be presented at Council sometime in May.
That report will have all the recommendations put forward by the Life Saving Society of Canada, and that's exciting because I know that much of their recommendations will be similar to the one that was unanimously supported by Council.
He's also expecting a review of all the pertinent reports, such as the Provincial Coroner's Report and the Landmark Engineering Report, to help Council move forward. So Sandpoint Beach was fenced off last June after a tragedy involving a 15-year-old. The city opened up a review of the Sandpoint Beach Master Plan, which involves moving the beach to the east side of the park. Now, as part of the 2026 budget, the city allocated $1.5 million to replace the current playground with a new one and to build a splash pad. The key to getting Sandpoint Beach done in an expeditious way? Funding. Marignani says he is aware of a few grants the city is in a position to apply for that would help take the burden away from taxpayers.
And eventually that fence will become like a fence we see at Riem Park. That section will be grassy, greenland, and it will have trees and shade and all that, so no one will want to go in the water there.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
I got to know each of these dogs individually. I got to see each of their personalities take shape. I earned their trust, and then I saw each and every one of them be killed.
And still ahead, disturbing claims from inside a lab as a whistleblower challenges findings that cleared dog experiments. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather tonight. And Gary, sounds like we're looking for a midweek warm-up.
You're right about that. Good evening, Travis. Good evening, folks. Temperatures likely to increase by several degrees in some areas across southern Ontario. For Thursday, you can see a jump over 10, maybe even 11 degrees above seasonal. Case in point today, though, just to give you an idea, setup for what we're expecting. Now, we may see a record or two drop on Thursday in terms of daytime highs reaching near 20 degrees. The record for today is 24.5. That was really warm in 2017. We obviously weren't there. The average is 8.2. We barely got above 5 degrees. Some areas were close to 6 degrees. It was a cold day, and you get a sense of that with this westerly wind, this northwesterly or west-northwesterly wind profile that did usher in some snow across the Golden Horseshoe and further east, and even between Chatham, Kent, and London, Kitchener, Waterloo. But that draw, right, that's colder air to our northwest, continues for tonight. As I speak into early tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures get as low as maybe 0, +1, some areas even -1. Then we'll see some sunshine before this next system brings significant rain, but it will also, behind the system, or actually ahead of it, is a bit more of this warm surge that we are anticipating. So rain is coming on a very warm Thursday. But how about tomorrow? Well, we get a hint of this warm-up for Wednesday. Increase in cloudiness, by the way. If we do see some showers late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, they are very light. The worst of this system stays to the north and east of us, but this surge is a two-part situation. So I mentioned the breakdown for tonight. Technically, tomorrow morning before dawn is chilly and seasonal, 0 degrees, right? So we're looking at freezing. But then we see a significant warm-up. Still cold in the morning. Clouds dissipating and moving out of our airspace will be up to 7 degrees. That would be average for this time of the year. But by 5 p.m., we're looking at mostly sunny conditions, 12 degrees Celsius. I think Chatham Kent will be closer to 10, but the warm air keeps coming. We're up to 19 and showers in the afternoon on Thursday, and that's the day that we could see some records across parts of the province, especially in the southern tier. Friday, it just gets colder. Cold air mass follows suit, and like a conveyor belt, we're in this round of showers turning to flurries, and then we warm up into double digits, lower teens possible between Saturday and Tuesday of next week. A very dynamic forecast in terms of temperatures.
Thank you, Gary. Students and union members gathered outside Queen's Park today to protest the Ford government's recent changes to OSAP. The group is calling on the province to reverse funding cuts, which they say will prevent students from attending post-secondary school. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
Outside the legislature, students from across Ontario make noise about a shift in OSAP. It means they'll have to lean harder on loans they have to pay back.
These funds will really help me, get on my feet, especially afterwards. I plan on going to law school, so that's going to draw me in even more debt.
Brenna's rethinking her plan to study early childhood education this fall.
I don't come from generational wealth. I'm on my own when it comes to college. I'm not getting any support from my family. I also don't have a job right now. I've been looking for months.
Dahlia's already tapping into OSAP grants on a path she hopes will lead to a career in gynecology.
I'm possibly looking at completely throwing away a dream I've had since I was 4.
Inside the legislature, the leader of the opposition says students feel like they're slipping through the cracks.
They're just asking for a chance, a fair chance to finish what they started or start at all.
The minister insists there is help available.
There's many different opportunities for bursaries and grants. Our universities give $1.8 billion of bursaries and grants every single year, as well as our student access guarantee.
To the Liberals, that sounds like
you need to go more into debt. We're going to make it harder for you. We're piling on the debt. The minister doesn't get it.
The minister says the shift away from grants is necessary because the current model is not sustainable.
You know what's not sustainable? Spending $100 billion on a stupid tunnel under the 401 or billions of dollars to build a fantasy island for a convention center.
Students aren't thrilled with the idea of more loans, whether they're through OSAP or a bank.
Loans are always really difficult because you have to pay them back, and that's even more money that's being drained from your wallet.
Worried about getting a job to fill in a financial hole after graduation.
This provincial government has been doing
bugger all to help people when they come out of university get jobs, and now they're attacking people trying to get into university and college.
The government has called any debt an investment in the future. It's also pumping over $6 billion more into post-secondary education over the next 4 years.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A global engineering firm is putting about $2 million into Windsor with plans to create around 40 new tech and engineering jobs. Soli's Partners says these roles will focus on digital manufacturing, design, and product development with potential to expand and add more jobs. Stakeholders in Windsor, Essex say it's another sign companies are still looking to grow here.
At the end of the day, we're known as an ecosystem that is an advanced manufacturing powerhouse. And this just adds to that roster of companies that choose Windsor, Essex because they have the confidence in this community.
Canada's main stock index was up as the price of oil rose. The TSX gained 58 points, and in New York, the Dow lost 84, while the Nasdaq dropped 185. The Canadian dollar fell a quarter cent, and on commodity markets, gold is down more than $5 an ounce, and oil gained $4.22 a barrel.
CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
For the first time since controversial dog testing was revealed in London last summer, one of the whistleblowers is speaking publicly. They say they're appalled by what they call a public relations campaign minimizing what they witnessed at St. Joseph's Healthcare firsthand. CTV's Rita Ismail reports.
A whistleblower behind allegations of controversial dog experiments at St. Joseph's Healthcare London maintains what they witnessed inside the lab was deeply troubling.
I got to know each of these dogs individually. I got to see each of their personalities take shape. I earned their trust, and then I saw each and every one of them be killed.
Their comments come after independent reviews last month found no violations of animal care standards. In an interview with CTV News, the whistleblower, who asked to be identified only as Alex, says the findings don't reflect what they experienced while working inside the lab.
I worked directly with these animals over an extended period of time. At first, I didn't fully realize what was going on, but the longer that I worked there, the more that I saw and the harder it became to ignore.
Alex says they contacted the animal rights organization, Animal Justice, last year in hopes of ending the experiments.
I think the fact that the entire research program, which had been going on uninterrupted for 40 plus years, shut down just days after it became public, says a lot about what they were doing.
At the time, two whistleblowers alleged the research involved inducing hours-long heart attacks in dogs as part of cardiac studies and questioned the condition in which the dogs were cared for during the experiments.
These were young dogs. They were otherwise healthy. Most of them were puppies, 1 to 2 years old, being forced into heart attacks that would last multiple hours. And then at the end, they were killed.
The research program has since been halted. 6 of the 8 dogs involved were transferred for rehoming. 2 remain at the hospital. Western's Animal Care Clinic says the remaining dogs have been under the care of veterinarians and are doing well as they prepare them for adoption.
This was never about whether the rules or the regulations were followed. The root of the issue is the outdated guidelines themselves. My biggest concern is the 2 remaining dogs, and there's been no clear explanation for why those 2 dogs are still there.
CTV News reviewed documents dated November 2024 showing a request for 217 animals for research studies over 4 years. The documents indicate the number accounts for animals that may be euthanized during or at the end of the experiments. St. Joseph's declined an interview request, but in a statement confirmed that dog research ended in August of 2025. Proposed provincial legislation is now being discussed that could ban certain experiments on dogs and cats. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Back with another look at the dynamic 7-day forecast is CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald. And Gary, is this kind of weather normal this time of year?
You know what? Sometimes we do see these kinds of swings, especially as we transition, Travis, from winter into the spring season. And we are in the midst of a very dynamic forecast in that there are a lot of elements involved, a lot of changes, short-term changes leading to very distinct and rather dramatic results. The repercussions of this meandering jet stream across North America. We get warm and then we get cold and warm and then cold, all within a very short time frame. Very, very much spring-like. And tomorrow, very warm, relatively speaking, exceptionally warm on Thursday, and then the cold air rushes in. We see rain showers turn to flurries, and then a bit of a stabilization in terms of temperatures as we head towards the end, or at least the middle of next week, and still above seasonal. So be prepared for big changes in temperatures for the rest of this weekend into next. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, NASA wants to go back to the moon and this time stay a while.
The moon base will not appear overnight. We will invest approximately $20 billion over the next 7 years and build it through dozens of missions, working together with commercial and international partners towards a deliberate and achievable plan.
The space agency is planning a multi-billion-dollar base on the lunar surface designed for a long-term human presence. To make it happen, NASA's ditching plans for a space station around the moon and repurposing some of that tech for the base instead. It's all part of the Artemis program, which will put astronauts back on the moon for the first time in nearly 60 years. And a Canadian will be along for the ride. Jeremy Hansen set to fly around the moon as soon as April 1st. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.